guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I am driving the Skoda Yeti, and this is the pre-facelift model. It gets these kind of beautiful lights, two lights like that. Now this is obviously something which looks very unique because this is something only there on the Yeti amongst all Skoda cars. Meanwhile, let's open the engine bay right away. Kidhar hai boss? You drive a Skoda car, you also don't know. Move. Oh, thank you. No hydraulic struts, TDI written over here. Engine bay is kind of compact, I would say. And let's quickly close the engine bay. As you can see, the car looks really nice. It gets the German flag on the nameplate, on the number plate that is, and blackened rims. These are Michelin Primacy SUV tires. Yeah, this is actually an SUV 215 65 16 inches. The alloy wheel design could have been more adventurous. German flag over here on the outside rear view mirrors as well. In terms of size, it doesn't look that massive, but yes, it is actually much bigger than any hatchback, but it still turns out to look like a hatchback. Design is very quirky as such. As you can see, the glass area is massive over here. I don't think anyone's going to sit in it. It's like a last row. The glass area on this car is bigger than what is the glass area on most cars with the third row. That's how big it is. Anyways, as you can see, the rear design is kind of basic. It's not very adventurous or flamboyant, but it gets twin exhaust, rather dual exhaust, rear parking sensors. Let's quickly open the boot right away, and there it opens. So as you can see, the boot is actually big enough. Now this is a cycle rack, 12 volt charging socket is over here, and meanwhile over here we get the spare wheel, which isn't an alloy. Back in those days, Skoda used to do cost cutting, just imagine. So yeah, anyways, let's close it. So they have given this convenient thing to close the boot. Let's quickly get into the rear seat right away. But you can see, I don't know why this car keeps auto locking. Very inconvenient. Anyways, big massive roof rail. This is obviously functional. The rear seat has good amount of space on offer, and the seat is comfortable as well. There's good amount of headroom, there's good amount of knee room and leg room, but under thigh support is just about average. Okay, there is a cubby hole over here, the AC vents over here, and there's a center armrest here as well. Now in order to open this, to press this button, yes, and there it gets cup holders, but there you can access the boot as well. Meanwhile, there's a transmission tunnel over here in the center, and because the center console has been extended all the way over here, 3 passengers won't be comfortable over here. Not really scooped out seat back, but there's a magazine holder over here, and as you can see, the cabin feels airy due to the beige treatment. Meanwhile, over here, as you can see, the button is kind of quirky and different, and the door pockets are big enough. They're massive door pockets. You can easily keep a 1 liter bottle and more. So as you can see, the dashboard feels a bit plain and basic because this is the pre-facelift model, misses out on a lot of equipment as such, but later Skoda added a lot of features in this car. So as you can see, definitely the design is appealing to those who like something which is subtle yet sophisticated. Meanwhile, over here, a lot of space in the door pocket as well. Power window controls, outside rear view mirror controls. This is the headlight control. The car has actually held up quite well. The seat is very comfortable. You can see how it is. Meanwhile, over here you can see, that's it. Manual adjustment for the seat. So yeah, you have to push and pull a lot over here. As you can see, the pedal goes from down to up, and there's a dead pedal over here as well. No keyless go, no push button start, none of that over here. Traction control button over here. Mercedes key over here of the C-Class, which I'm driving right now. And as you can see, there's good amount of storage space over here because the glove box is decent size. There's a lot of stuff over here, and you can actually flip that to turn off passenger airbag. Now it obviously happens automatically in all the cars. Over here we have a cubby space as well. No auto dimming inside rear view mirror. There are lights over here. There's a mirror over here along with space to keep your toll receipt. Same is the case over here, but there is no light, which is kind of disappointing. There's a sunglass holder over here, which I don't think it opens anymore. Anyways, as you can see, there's space to keep stuff over here below the cubby hole as well. Twin cubby holes over there. This is to lock and unlock the door, which is kind of weird. And over here there's a 12 volt charging socket. There's space to keep stuff over here. These are the controls for the air conditioning. This is the audio system, which is kind of very basic for the price. Meanwhile, the reverse gear goes front left. Yeah, that's right, front left. So let me turn on the car right now. So when I turn on the car, it comes to life without doing any sort of swipes, and in order to put it in reverse I need to push it down, and there we get into reverse parking sensors, no reverse parking camera. Obviously all these features came later in the Yeti. Good multi-information display, gives you a lot of information on offer, but no audio controls on the steering. The horn isn't up to Skoda standards though. These are the controls for the light, these are the controls for the wipers, these are the controls for the indicators. Let's use the wipers right away. Yeah, the wipers are nice and work quite well, but I think honestly you guys want me to drive the car, so let's get going. Into first gear, ASR off, which is traction control, and I hit these mats, my leg keeps getting stuck in it. Revving the motor, kind of revs freely and off we go. There's a lot of grip on offer. Red line's close to 5,000 RPM, and this engine is so punchy. It is always so good to drive a Volkswagen Group engine with a manual transmission because it feels so much more responsive and fun. A horn is like really loud. Wheel spinning, yes, that's the kind of punch it has to offer, but the steering is extremely heavy, obviously, but it offers tremendous feel. Yes, it is heavy, but the feel and feedback is just amazing. The suspension is on the stiffer side, which means that, yeah, you can feel a lot of the bumps, but the car remains very glued to the road at all speeds, which is a very good thing. Obviously, the indicators are on the left side, which takes some time to getting used to. The brakes are a little spongy on this car, but I remember driving the Yeti when it was on sale, and that time the brakes were very strong. In fact, I had taken the Yeti all the way, all around Kashmir. Yeah, that's right. So I had gone to Sonmarg in the Yeti, and it was so much fun. Here we go, good amount of punch. The way this engine pulls is just something. So this is a 2-liter diesel engine. I think it produces around 140 horsepower, and with the facelift they had two versions. So there was a 4x2 and a 4x4. 4x2 used to produce 110 horsepower, the 4x4 used to produce 140 horsepower. The clutch is slightly on the heavier side, but the gearbox is very responsive. I mean, it is not the lightest, but it is very slick with shifts, and it has very defined gates as well. Now as you see, I'm going to take a U-turn over here. Some amount of effort on the steering wheel. I think the steering of this car has become slightly heavier as well, and as I get into the gas, great pull, pulls all the way to 5,000 RPM. So low end punch is very nice. Meanwhile, the mid range is also very strong. In fact, it has a top end as well. So this Skoda engine is just phenomenal. I mean, the way this car pulls is just something else. Now it is moving around a bit. It is on the stiffer side, and that stiffness is not that great on Indian roads, because for an SUV it has to be extremely comfortable. Somehow the Yeti wasn't as comfortable as you would expect it to be. Now on these big bumps you can feel a lot. Now I don't need to downshift because there's good amount of punch on offer, and you can ride the torque wave very well. I absolutely love this car. Now this being the pre-facelift has a 5-speed gearbox. Meanwhile, the 110 horsepower had a 5-speed gearbox, and the 140 horsepower had a 6-speed gearbox, and off we go. So the biggest issue with the Yeti was the fact that it did not come with an automatic gearbox. There was no automatic transmission on offer, and when I asked Skoda why is that case, they said it's going to take them a lot of money to develop it, some millions of dollars and stuff, and I was like, isn't it the same engine in the Laura as well? Well, yeah, it actually shares its underpinnings with the Laura, and that's the reason the engine is also shared. The platform is very good. In fact, it's really the platform which makes it such an exciting car to drive. Great balance between ride and handling, other than the fact that the ride is slightly on the stiffer side. So on bad roads you have to be a bit careful. Otherwise, the ground clearance is also very good, and the 4x4 version was very capable off-road as well. Now this car doesn't have much technology because this is the pre-facelift, but the one which came later was loaded to the gill with a lot of features. Revving the motor, oh my god, it revs till 5,500 RPM, and it is very boomy. It's not the most refined engine. Actually, it is not refined at all, because you can hear a lot inside the cabin, but it's so much fun to drive. The Yeti is an all-rounder car. Really, it's an all-rounder car. If you have seen Jeremy Clarkson's video of the Yeti, you will realize that this is a car which can do it all, right from landing a helicopter on the roof as well. So yes, extremely capable, but it did not sell well in the Indian market because of two reasons. One is the price and the other is the size. Because it looks like a hatchback. It's an SUV. It's a very capable SUV, but it still looks like a hatchback, and that's the reason people were like, okay, we don't want a car which is an SUV so pricey but still ends up looking like a hatchback. We want massive road presence, because size really matters in the Indian market. This car is a global success, but in India it did not sell well at all. In fact, the sales were so poor that Skoda had to pull the plug on this vehicle, and yeah, it did not sell in good numbers. The pricing was also very optimistic. Skoda had priced it around rupees 25 lakhs, which was a lot of money considering the Fortuner used to come for similar money. Plus Skoda's average after sales service at that time. Now things have improved right now, but at that time people really didn't want to buy a Skoda. People were more inclined towards the Fortuner, which obviously offers a lot more road presence. I remember I had taken the Yeti along with the Safari, Scorpio as well as the Duster all-wheel drive for an off-road expedition, and the Yeti was the best performer over there. Great ground clearance, great off-road ability. Skoda should have really given it an automatic and worked on the pricing and improved the size. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of mine of the Skoda Yeti, a brilliant car, a car which could do it all, which was marred by its small size and lack of beefy proportions. So if you like this video, you know what you have to do. Give it the thumbs up, that's a like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I absolutely love this car. That's the reason why most people do not want to sell their Yeti. It is such a phenomenal machine and kind of makes me sad that this car did not work, because you know, sometimes great things do come in small packages. Bye bye. Guys, you won't believe what happened. The car has stopped working and I'm stranded over here. So that's all it does. It just won't turn on. Don't know what to do really. Yeah, I think now need to call for some support. Come on, come on. ठीक से पुश करना.